Email your prayer to prayerswpky@gmail.com. We'll broadcast a community prayer on this station every day around 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Before our morning prayer at 10, we will ring bells as requested by Governor Andy Beshear. We will get through this together.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, it wouldn't be a Monday without just a ton of rain, right? No, we actually needed the rain this week. So we can't fuss. Oh, well, I guess we could. But we shouldn't fuss about it too much because we actually did need a little bit of rain. So we're not talking about any kind of massive temperature or anything today either. Looking like mid-60s is going to be about as hot as it's going to get. They are saying fog and haze throughout the day off and on. Though we've got an advisory for that. Of course, I guess the good news is this will probably help our fire danger. So maybe that'll lessen that a little bit. Hey, Coffee Talk is on the air this morning, and I've got Miss Jenna Jerger on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? I'm
doing good. Of course, I hope you got your umbrella with you, Jenna.
I do, and my rain boot.
I think you're going to need your galoshes and your rain bonnet and all of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not a very good way to start a Monday.
Well, you know what? We did need a little rain. It's kind of like, when you go get your checkup, it's not something you're looking forward to, but it's good for you.
Right.
Health First Community Health Center. And I'll tell you, I love that the one, I think the part that I always tell her about that I get so excited about, kind of involves Tara a little bit. But, it's all the different programs that are available right now for people that are out of work or, maybe they're in low income or a fixed income. And that's one of my favorite things going on right now.
Right. And presumptive eligibility allows for anyone in the state of Kentucky that does not already have health insurance coverage to receive free insurance for a 2-month period. Now, this is a special temporary coverage due to COVID-19, but again, available to anyone without insurance. And you would be surprised that all the things that presumptive eligibility Medicaid covers, such as blood sugar and blood pressure screenings, cardiovascular disease screening and treatment, medical checkups, prescriptions, x-rays, dental services, substance use disorder treatment, behavioral health therapy and counseling, and of course hospital services if needed. But a lot of great opportunities for someone that does not have medical insurance coverage currently and may need several of those services. Now is the time to take advantage of that and get the care that you need.
Well, and I'll tell you, that's, it's always such a hassle, or it seems to be. Anytime you talk about, I don't want to get on the phone and try to go back and forth with but Tara and all of the folks at Health First make it really easy.
Yes, and the good thing about Tara is she is someone that can give personalized help to individuals. She can guide them through any processes for application, enrollment in this program, and beyond. So again, I mentioned that this program runs for 2 months. And it's actually been extended for another 2 months for individuals that have enrolled in the program.
Oh, wow.
So there's 4 months of coverage right there that folks can get. But she can help navigate programs after that program expires, such as if individuals would like to apply in the regular Medicaid, also known as traditional Medicaid, instead of going to the CBS office, as most folks often do, they can actually contact Tara and she can help them with that process. Any renewals that they would need to do, she can help with that as well. She also helps with enrollment and renewals for the K-CHIP program. And if folks out there don't know about that program, it is targeted for children ages 19 and under, and again provides all varieties of healthcare needs that children may need, immunizations, doctor and dental visits, hospital care, mental health, prescriptions, and more. And what most folks don't realize that families of 4 earning nearly $50,000 may qualify for this program, and it be absolutely free to them. So that's huge for working families that may need that extra income, may not be able to afford to cover their children, but they need that health insurance coverage. This is an option that's available, as well as the programs at Health First. We are a federally qualified health center, so we receive federal grant funding to help offset costs for individuals for health care. So we have what is known as a sliding fee discount program that is based on a person's number of household size and their income. So they pay what they can afford based on that information. So we've got lots of programs, other patient assistance programs that our staff can help individuals navigate and get them the care that they need.
Well, and we mentioned her name a couple of times. Miss Tara Tapp-Colodi can really help everybody out with that. That chick is fast at that stuff. And if you give her a little bit of information, man, she can run with it. So that's a good thing. And I'll tell you right now, you and I talked about it the other day. It's back to school time, full time. In Caldwell, today is the first day of full-time school. That's 5 days a week. I know some kids are still on NTI, but a lot of us sent our kids back on the bus today for the first time in quite some time for 5 days a week. And you know what? Just because COVID's here does not mean that the common cold and allergies and all that stuff that comes along with fall and wintertime and harvest, unfortunately, that doesn't mean that they went away. And what I love about you guys, Miss Jenna, she said, come on in, bring them to me. The walk-in part of those appointments, I can't schedule when my kid's going to come home sneezing.
Right. And we take walk-in appointments every day. So if you wake up, you're not feeling well, a family member is not feeling well, you need to be seen, come on into our office and we will take care of you.
Well, and again, that's the part that these days is so hard to find, is someplace that, my kids do things on their time, not my time. Unfortunately, it's usually exactly the wrong time. But that's something that you make really easy for moms and dads and grandparents or whatever. And in fact, it can be more than one member of the family, because that's usually how that works too.
Right. And we've got a variety of services available at our Princeton location. We have family practice, behavioral health, medical, nutrition therapy, laboratory services if you need those. And our providers include Dr. Jamie Perry, Chelsea Aiken, and we have Lori Humphreys that is our behavioral health provider, and Lori Conger that is our dietitian. So we've got a great medical team there waiting to provide you care that you need.
Oh, you said dietitian, and that made me think one of my favorite services, and I can't believe I didn't already talk about this because I say it every time I get a hold of you, is you guys really do a great job about diabetes. And anytime, there's so many different things that food allergies and diabetes and diets maybe for our cholesterol and that sort of thing, that really and truly heart health, a lot of that can be dependent on what we eat. And that's where she comes in. They don't just say, oh, you've got diabetes. Good luck with that. No, you guys actually, it's something that you care about and actually try to help with.
Right, and we really pride ourselves on collaborative care, which means that our providers work together to make sure your overall health needs are met. So from our family practice provider working with our dietitian or even our on-staff pharmacist to ensure that you are on the correct medications, that your diet is what is needed to help you feel and get better, and just your overall care needs.
Well, because I'll admit, the other day we were kind of talking about in our house how much sugar we actually ingest on a daily basis, and we, there was a couple of things in there, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not full of sugar, and they're like, oh yeah, Mom. Well, that's things like that. Sometimes you just don't think about it.
Right. And Lori, the great thing about her service is she can sit down with an individual one-on-one or in a group session and look at nutrition labels and some things that I myself would go into a grocery store and pick up and think would be a healthy option for my family really isn't. But she can guide individuals through picking out healthy meal choices for their families. She actually offers grocery store tours at certain times throughout the year, and then also offers diabetes education classes. She does this in person or virtually. For those that want to stay safe at home, they can join online. So if anyone is interested in that, they can just contact our office and ask for Lori Conger and get more information about those services.
Well, and I got to admit, one of the when you say testing, and I know it's popped up many times, and of course this is a big month for our company with Pink Out and that sort of thing. We need to have those cancer screenings.
Yes, and your family practice provider can help you decide what type of screenings that you need depending on age or other factors and help set those up for you.
Well, and you know what? A lot of that has changed. You don't have to wait till you're 60 years old to need a mammogram. A lot of those things that we think of it, that we don't need that screening until we're, well retired. That's just not the case anymore because early detection is key for that.
That is correct.
You could make a whole party out of it. Bring your girls and...
And certain times of the year, we work with Deaconess Hospital and their mobile mammogram unit to offer those screenings. What they recommend is that you be of 40 years of age, or if you have family members that have had a past history of breast cancer, you may want to be screened earlier. That's something that the doctor and you will determine together. And there are grants available for mammograms through the Susan Komen Foundation or other programs that we can help navigate through. But yes, it's very important. 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in their lifetime, so it's very important to get those screenings and detect that early. Well,
and I'll tell you, as scary as it is, and I drag my feet so often about things like that because I am such a weenie. I really, I'm not going to say I'm not, I am. But it's something that, I promised our CEO, Beth Mann, we love her dearly, and she's a survivor. And I promised her, I said, I'm going to be more diligent, and I'm going to do that because of her and for her and in her, support of her. And I think that's something that's important that we teach our daughters as well.
Yes, and we also recommend conducting a self-breast exam every month. And we actually have shower cards to put on your shower head, and it kind of gives some instructions, and it's just a good reminder to have. So if any of you listening would like to receive one of those shower cards, stop by our office, and we will be happy to provide one to you. But it provides some good tips for doing those self-exams.
And you know what? We got holidays coming up. Stick one of those on their stocking. If you've got somebody that needs a reminder, if you've got a hard-headed mama like me, you just stick it in my stocking. That's what it is. I hear. This is what you need to do, and do it for me because I love you and I want you to go get that checked out. Before I let you go today, though, I don't want to forget. Now, see, I love Jenna because she just seems to have a habit of making things easier for us. And this time, you made it so easy and more comfortable because you're not sticking stuff up my nose anymore. We've got this mouth swab thing going for COVID test, right?
Correct. And there's actually a video on our Facebook page of a individual getting screened at one of our screening locations last week. So if you want to see how easy it is, just jump on our Facebook page and watch that video. But it's an oral swab. It's swab the inside of the cheek. It is less invasive than the nasal swab. It's quick, easy, painless. So come out and get a screening at one of our screening locations. We do not have any locations in the Princeton area this week, but we do get in that area pretty often. So just watch our Facebook page or view our events calendar on our website to find out where we will be next. We're actually going to be in Henderson and Madisonville this week, but we will be back to the Princeton area pretty soon. And there is no cost to the patient for these screenings. We just want to provide a public service and give the public access to that testing that needs that.
Well, not only is it free, it's just more comfortable. My sinuses with harvest and everything else going on right now, the last thing it wants is a Q-tip or whatever that thing is up my nose. So, just giving a little mouth swab, that's a lot more, I would think, a lot better for children as well. It's less scary.
Right. And even if we are not having a drive-through screening in your area, we provide COVID testing in the clinics, so you can get both the oral swab to determine if you are currently exposed to the COVID-19 virus, or we also offer an IgG antibody test, which is a blood test to determine past exposure to COVID-19. So there's no appointment needed. You can just contact our office and come in for one of those tests if you feel like you would need one.
I've got to admit, I've actually said it before, and I've had those conversations where I swear I had the COVID months ago. How many times have all of us sat down and said that? Well, go find out. Stop talking about it and go find out for sure, right?
Right. And remember, wash your hands and wear a mask. That helps to prevent spreading the virus.
Well, that sounds fantastic. I appreciate you, Miss Jenna Jerger with Health First Community Health Center. We love you guys to death. You remind us of your phone number.
270-365-9455, and that is our Princeton office. You can also contact us toll free at 1-877-667-7017, and we're located at 1100 South Jefferson Street.
Well, that's easy to find. I'll tell you, you've got a nice parking lot and a little covered area there if it's raining on days like today, so that you don't have to get drenched. You can let them off right at the door underneath the pavilion there.
Right. So come out and see us.
I love it. Thank you, Miss Jenna. Hopefully tomorrow or the next day we'll find some sunshine. How about that?
Oh, I hope so.
Thanks again. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Miss Jenna Jerger with Health First Community Health Center, and she's always a breath of fresh air. We love her to death. But tons of different ways, a walk-in clinic or COVID test or whatever you need from her. Give them a call. Now, here's her toll-free number. Don't forget, 877-667-7017. And I've got a pretty lady that walked in. Boys, the rain can't keep her down. It's Miss Toni Watson. She's up next on Coffee Talk. Hang on.
Buy or sell your property? Bollinger Real Estate and Auction is a full-service, one-stop real estate and auction company in Hopkinsville. We are local and family-owned. Let us help your family as it pertains to real estate and personal property. Our services are comprehensive, and we are committed to provide our customers with the knowledge and tools to make educated decisions about their property. Call us today at 270-632-8882 or go to bollingerrealestate.com. Real estate solutions with a passion for people.
If you really enjoy the stories you hear on Traveling the Bluegrass, we'd like to invite you to listen to the whole visit uncut. Just type youragadge.com into your browser. You'll find Traveling the Bluegrass uncut stories in long form, so you don't miss a thing. You'll also find lots of ag news and farm pictures from across the Commonwealth. You can also find all the Kentucky communities that Traveling the Bluegrass can be found. Remember to visit youragadge.com.
Your home team at Trice Hughes wants to make sure your vehicle lasts as long as possible, especially since warmer weather means more driving. Trice Hughes reminds you that tire pressure is critical to maximizing the performance of your vehicle. From improved fuel mileage to smoother tire wear, make sure your tires are inflated to the correct PSI.
Trice Hughes is here for you and any questions you may have about your vehicle. Buy your next vehicle from the home team. Find them on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or at tricehughes.com.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, I guess we got to do this first. I get in a hurry. I want to talk to Toni. Of course, our WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today says scattered showers. Evidently, right now it says cats and dogs. That's what it's calling for. It looks like pretty well all day long. This is going to set in with us. So is the fog. So is the haze. It's going to give us a little bit of a break around lunchtime, but other than that, it's going to set right back in this afternoon. 90% chance of it this afternoon as well. That chance of precip is going to drop down to an 80% chance. So it looks like it's likely overnight as well. Low 50 tomorrow. More of the same during the morning hours, but by lunchtime, we should kind of clear up to partly cloudy the rest of the afternoon, high 69. On Wednesday, sunshine and a high at 80. It's 61 at 848, 1580, 103.3 WPKY. And of course, in the studio this morning, we have Miss Toni Watson. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, lady?
Wet,
yeah.
and chilly, but it's a good day.
Well, I think that's kind of what the recipe for the day is going to be is wet.
Right, all day, I believe.
Well, I think that probably means that maybe the courthouse will be a little slow. But the farmers, you said that a second ago, that's a great opportunity for these farmers to come in.
Yes, if they're getting a break from getting their crops in, we hope they'll come on to the courthouse basement and vote.
Well, and that's... what is it? The north entrance that's a handicap accessible. They don't even have to climb any stairs.
Right. I
mean, if they're out doing that harvest and trying to get their knees probably don't feel like climbing stairs, that's a great way to do it.
It sure is. In 4.5 days, we've had 1,072 voters come in and vote.
Yay! I'm so proud, though.
Yes.
Is that more than what you thought, maybe, or?
Well, you never know how an election is going to go, but people are very interested. It's an important election, and they're coming on in and voting so they don't have to stand in a long line on Election Day. And a lot of election days, we have dreary days in November. So they're coming on in and voting. We've mailed out 1,168 mail-in absentee ballots, and we've already received just a few over 800 of those back.
Oh, wow.
So people are voting and getting them back in the mail or bringing them to the courthouse and putting them in the drop box.
Well, I like that because that tells me they're not hawing around. They're doing it.
Going ahead and doing it, taking care of it.
If you say, you know what, I'd love to mail my ballot, but I just don't trust it, you can bring them to Toni, and she will get them in the mail.
Get them in the drop box, and then we check it every day. We have one upstairs and downstairs, and they are recorded, scanned in. Then the processing committee, which is made up mainly of the County Board of Election Commissioners, meet and we scan them in. We will not know those totals until Election Day when they can be announced, but we will have to keep that machine up in case we get any late ones. So everything's going good.
Feel like, it's more official when you drop it in the drop box or something instead of the mailbox. It just feels more, I don't know.
Like you voted?
Yeah. Yeah. It just feels like you went out and voted, because it feels a little odd to go early.
Yes.
But at the same time, my parents went and voted already. They got tickled by that. That's one of those things that I think a lot of people are taking advantage of in doing, and I think that's fantastic.
Yes. Some states have had early voting with no reason for a lot of years. I know in Florida they have early voting for so many days. No excuse, you just want to do it. We've always had early voting for the last several years, but there has to be a reason that you're not going to be able to go vote on Election Day. So in June and now the November election, you can just come, early vote, cast your vote, not have to stand in a long line. And for those who are concerned with the COVID-19, there's not as many people around.
And that's a reason enough.
Yes.
You don't have to have I got to do this or that or medical excuse.
No. Right.
Okay.
Right. We have 10,324 voters in Caldwell County.
Wow.
Women outnumber the men by about 550 so votes.
Yes, we do.
We
Take that.
We have 5,805 Democrat voters, 3,857 Republican voters, and then there's about 650 to 75 different parties, different parties.
Okay.
So we could have a very, very good turnout. I brought a little history with me that I've gone back through the book to check out. And Caldwell County historically has voted Republican.
Oh, wow.
Except for the 2 years when Clinton was running. The highest percentage we've had was in 1992 when Bush and Clinton ran, with Clinton winning that one, and he also won here in Caldwell County. Bush's had done well. McCain and Romney didn't get the presidents, but Caldwell County voters went for them. So we had in 16 about 59% of the vote. But 76 is the highest that I can find recorded since 1988.
Do you find in Caldwell that it's usually a lot of us go one direction or the other? Is it usually, or is it a close percentage?
There's no way to tell that because of the privacy of the votes, but we do have a lot of straight party boxes checked on both sides.
Now, I know the last time you were here, we talked about a little bit different way of voting that they have when they go in. If they'd like to do it a little differently this year, as far as the automatic versus a pencil and all the different ways of doing it.
Yes, we have, and it's named E-Slate machine, where it has headphones. If you have trouble staying in the box or reading, you can listen. As you turn the wheel on it, it tells you exactly what line you're on, who the candidate on that line is, and they can use that. Now, these machines do not have a paper trail. So unless, they're needed, we're not, I don't think we've used it once this time.
Oh, that was my next question, if anybody's utilizing that.
We have some voters in the county that need it. The good thing about having that machine, if we were to run out of paper ballots, which we got real close one time, so we just hooked 2 booths to the controller and ran people through their voting. So you are going to get to vote.
I didn't even think about that. What would happen if you run out of ballots? Well, that's what happens.
That's what we use that machine for. It's all a guess. You have no idea how many people are going to turn out to vote. So it's a guess. This time, I ordered 80% paper ballots for Caldwell County.
Okay.
All right, if we had 90% turnout to vote, which would be great, we're going to have to utilize that E-Slate. We only have the 3 precincts open this time in the county, other than at the courthouse. So if you're at one of these precincts, driving by, whatever, and think, well, I'll just stop here and vote. The state is kind of called these super centers. Because of the paper, it's just unrealistic to buy that many and send a set to all these precincts when to the 3 precincts when no one may show up. So if that's what they want to do, they can go in that precinct and vote. They'll be using the E-Slate. We have 12 different ballots this time. So we're having to be very careful on getting the correct ballot because it's divided up in precincts, which has city races Fredonia and Princeton. Basically, they're uncontested. But we also had 3 school board races going on. So we have to be sure that the people who live in these precincts that have the school board races get the right ballot so they can vote for the candidate who will represent them.
I don't even think about that.
So
that's actually, you've got county, you've got city, you do this and I do that, and Fredonia would have its own if it was Fredonia. And I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
How many pens did you order this year? I'm going to ask the stupid question, but if you ordered all that paper.
The state sent us boxes and boxes.
So you didn't have to?
No, I didn't have to. They had to.
Doggone it, I was going to ask how many you ordered. What about stickers? Have we got enough stickers?
We've got enough stickers.
That's all I want to know there.
Yeah, we've got enough stickers. I also want to remind the voters that they're on the back of the ballot. When you are handed the ballot, it's going to look like any normal ballot. But turn it over. There are 2 amendments on the back for the Kentucky Constitution, and we need to do our homework on those and decide if we want to vote yes or no for them.
Well, and I guess that's another thing. If they do have questions and they don't understand, where's the best place to go and research that?
Well, there's a lot of websites that has that information. Of course, trusty Facebook. We never know if it's correct or not, but they do.
And that's kind of why I was going to ask. Opinion out of the way. What with the meat and potatoes, this is what it's about. Now, you make your own opinion. Now, where is that found?
I have read them. I have seen Facebook posts that gave websites to go and read it. There's also going to be 2 different opinions on it, of course. So you just have to read through it and make your choice, whether you're for it or not.
And you need to be cognizant of, if you're saying yes or no or how that's written. You need to really read those carefully.
I've always found the amendments to be hard to read.
Right.
No matter what the question is. But you just have to read through it. Try to get your neighbor's opinion, get whoever. I can't give mine because I'm running the election, Yeah. But I do think people ought to study up on them.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing is go to the polls educated, and know what can they find a sample ballot anywhere?
Yes, it was in the paper. In the Times Leader on Saturday.
Okay.
And we have sample ballots at the courthouse that, we can run copies of. We have to have them to send to the precincts to post so people can see them.
Well, that way they can read over it
If you want one, we'll get you one.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing because then they can read over it and really, or if they want somebody to help read it, maybe you want to take it and discuss it at home or something, you can do that, right?
And they're fairly lengthy.
Right.
The way they're written. So on election day, it's going to take a voter a little while if you haven't looked at it ahead of time.
Now, all they have to do is have their driver's license handy when they get there, right?
Right.
So go ahead and get that out and expect that.
And be ready. If there is a problem for some reason, there are other avenues we can go down. There's other paperwork that we can fill out.
Oh, you mean instead of a driver's license?
If they don't have it. But that is so simple. It keeps the line moving.
Or your ID. You can get you an ID.
You can have an ID. Any type of card that's got your picture and your personal information on it. But that helps the line move much quicker.
All right. Now, remind us where our locations are outside of the courthouse. We've got 3, right?
We've got 3. We have Fredonia, which votes at the Lions Club. We have Donaldson, which votes at the back of Donaldson Baptist Church there in Farmersville. And we have Bucksnort Precinct, which votes at Crossroads Christian Church.
What did they say? I don't know where I'm supposed to be at.
Well, they can always call 270-365-6754. and we will be glad to look it up.
But if you go into a precinct, they can look you up and say,
They can look
you
you
are
up.
this one because you need this ballot.
Yes, and they can give you the correct ballot even if you're not at the right precinct. During a normal year,
What?
Normal.
What is that word? Wait a minute. I gotta look that up.
You're supposed to vote in your correct precinct,
Right.
because of all of these school boards, city council, magistrates later on, But right now, you can, wherever you're at, we're going to let you get your vote in.
Now, Election Day?
Election Day, we will be at the courthouse and at these 3 precincts, 6 to 6.
Okay,
Just
and
like-
that's more than just the basement on Election Day, right?
Yes, we'll have a precinct set up on the main floor and one in the basement.
Okay. Well, I think you just about lined it out where I think even I can understand it.
Well, this Thursday and next Thursday of next week, we will be there from 8:30 to 6. Every other day during the week, it's 8:30 till 4.
And I love that you're doing it Saturdays, too. For those people that work during the week or maybe they can't because of the
Right.
kids, this is a great opportunity.
This Saturday, we will be there from noon until 4 o'clock. Last Saturday, we were there
I think it was
8
to
till noon. And we voted 140 or 160, something like that. And then the Saturday before the election, October 31st, we will be there from 8 until 4 all day. Monday, the 2nd, 8:30 till 4.
Now, do the precincts run the same hours as the courthouse? Or do we need to check on those?
Election Day,
Okay.
everything.
Right.
All precincts, no matter where it is 6 to 6.
And I want to remind everybody, if you're standing in line at 8 o'clock, that's not going to help you, right? At night.
No.
Well,
The
on
last
Election Day, we still have rules, right?
Right. The sheriff, if there is a line at 6 o'clock, the sheriff of that precinct goes and stands at the back of the line. Nobody behind them get to vote.
Okay. So that's normal vote, on Election Day procedure.
Right.
I just want to remind everybody that is still a thing, by the way.
Yeah.
And now you've got no excuse. You got tons of time to go on early votes.
We're trying to make it available as much as we can.
Well, Toni, we appreciate you. Anything else going on over there, if that's not enough?
We're working on taxes, getting the tax bills out. I know people like to hear that.
Well, yeehaw. Doesn't that sound good? You know what, though? The sheriff's office is going to come in. I think Miss Michelle's going to come in and try to go through all of that with us and get that lined out later on in the week.
Yes.
And God bless her.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that's changed up quite a bit this year, too.
Yes.
So
the county, the sheriff's office, the county has collected the city of Fredonia taxes for several years. This year, we're going to be collecting the city of Princeton. So people will only get one tax bill to come in and pay.
So that's an easy thing, but at the same time, it kind of changes everything up.
It changes the system that we've been used to, and we don't like change.
Well, no, it makes me have to think about things. I don't like that.
Right.
But you know what? There is, just like usual, there's penalties for being late, but there's actually, you can get a little discount here and there if you go ahead and get it done, right?
Right. 2% discount if they are paid through the month of November. And because we have several holidays in the month of November, I believe the sheriff's office is going to be open some extra time to help offset that and give people a chance to get in there and get them paid.
Well, that's coming up later on in the week. And the vehicle tax forgiveness thing, now that's over, right?
That's over. Yes.
So if you haven't, you better go see Toni. If you hadn't heard, that's over with. So as of at least about a week or so ago, right?
Yes. It
Okay.
was first week, I think.
Well, she will help you all she can. Miss Toni, what is the clerk's office number?
270-365-6754.
And you can get it all at the Caldwell County Courthouse. And remember, north-south entrance on Election Day. North entrance is handicap, right?
Right.
And then-
that is basically our entrance for the early voting.
And then you exit east and west.
Right.
Okay, so you do
Right.
that the opposite direction. That way we've got flow and we don't have to bump up against each other. Do your mama and them somewhere else. Don't do it at the election house this year, right?
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Toni Watson.
You're welcome. Thanks for helping spread the word.
Well, we appreciate it. Let us know if we can help.
All right. Thank you.
Miss Toni is gonna go out and try not to get drenched, bless her heart, on the way to the car. But hey, if you haven't voted, early voting is absolutely on. Make sure that you do that. Go out and get your little sticker and do your duty, okay? And if you got any questions, you can always call them. It's also on our website at WPKYonline.com. Stick around. Boy, have we got all kinds of information and weather and sports and something called the Autumn Adventure coming up on WPKY.
This is a full-service propane company offering services in Western Kentucky. You'll find offices located in Princeton and Cadiz. They're your local and family-owned propane supplier. Browse their website and discover the many services and products